So, all this writing and a bunch of pictures, no video in a long time. Thought I'd take you through in motion. Lately, it's mostly been drilling and filling. Got a layer of cloth here on the stem. Been fairing that in. There's the hole for the bow eye. And there's the backing block. I don't know if you can see it in this light. Then we've been filling all these screw holes and sanding. From fill to sand, I wait several days now. I'm sensitive enough to the epoxy that I really got to let it cure, or I just break out in rashes on my forearms. My nose itches, all that good stuff. But if I give it a few days, it's usually no trouble. But as you can see, just a million little fills here. This is what's taking all the time. Just getting all the little cracks filled where moisture can get in and where the rot can start. I'm not going for a beautiful finish by any means. I don't want it to look like it was slapped together. But I'm going by the 20-foot rule. Obviously my fillets aren't beautiful. They're totally just to seal all the corners. I mean, I'm glued and screwed. They aren't really structural, although it can't hurt. Obviously my splice boards. You know, here's where we came together. Got that seam looking ugly, but it's pretty smooth to the touch. Chines filleted. I gave another layer of just clear epoxy to soak any place I might have sanded through to wood. The cloth only comes around and up to here. Then this is just fillet and resin to seal the gap. Down here I have my mast step all ready to rock. I have not epoxied that in. It's just the PL and screws, but it's plenty strong. I'm really impressed with the PL. Got my access hatch for the flotation compartment cut. I'm going to keep access to that, fill it up with a bunch of empty water bottles instead of pouring foam like it shows in the plans. I want to make sure I can ventilate this. Another good place for rot to get started. Coming here to the back. Great access to that aft storage. My block up there where the screws landed for the upper pintle. You can see down below I had plenty of meat there. My reinforcement for the motor mount. And back here I resin these corners, no tape, just resin. That's above the water line. I mean, this is like a Bolger boat or most Michelacs. The bow and the transom aren't really in the water. So I'm cloth all the way up around. The seam you can see right here, this is where the cloth stops. So I took cloth around and up that far. I'm not going to glass the transom. Doesn't really need the strength. Doesn't stay immersed in the water. This is where I cut the hole out down here. When I went to go to put the tiller on, the tiller hit the rudder blade on the rudder stock. So I had to take this hole up. I'm up tight to that second block I put in. Here's the holes for the gudgeon. So I'll just bring in a nice plate and seal that off from the outside. After I get it all put together and take that down to the bare minimum. Anyway, we're getting really close to throwing some paint in the fore and aft compartments and then on the transom in the bow. And then once I've done all that, I can bolt the hardware back up and put the fore and aft decks on. I really wanted to get all that painting and hardware work done so I didn't have to crawl back there or crawl forward. I'm 52. Knees aren't what they used to be. Lee board guard all came out great. Once again, a layer of resin on the face of that just to help seal it. That's going to be kind of a high wear spot. An upper guard, not so concerned. This doesn't get immersed. Just good coat of paint. once again filling the cracks. So anyway, it's all looking pretty good. I'm getting really close to doing the prime and paint. I got some semi-gloss white exterior latex from Miller Paint. They did hand me the Alkalid primer, which will stick to pretty much anything. And since I'm going to have epoxy and wood and glue and all these fun things to stick to, I figured that I'd roll with that primer, as much as I wanted to be 100% latex paint. But a little bit of oil primer, that isn't the end of the world. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. And update you when I get a little more done. Have a great day.